What's going on, everyone? Thanks so much for joining me today. Continuing on the Dryfire series, we're going to talk about releasing the slide. Now this becomes a controversial subject and we'll just get into it. I'm going to give you information. I'm going to let you decide what is best for you. So there's two different manners in which to release the slide after inserting a loaded magazine. You got the mechanical method, which is pushing down on the lever and releasing the slide that way. So I insert the magazine, release the slide, reacquire my grip, come up and engage if necessary. And then you have the manual method. So after inserting the I reacquire the slide, do kind of a push-pull method, either thumbs forward, reacquire my grip, or after inserting the magazine, thumb rearward, reacquire my grip. So manually releasing the slide is the fastest, most efficient method. It's the least amount of movement. So I insert the magazine, come up, release the slide, reacquire my grip, and engage. Noticing there's not a lot of movement. The downside to this is if you're wearing heavy gloves or if there's a small lever right there, it may be difficult to release the slide, and it may be beneficial to manually release the slide. The argument against this, and I hear this regurgitated a lot, is under duress you lose fine motor skills. It really comes down to how you train. So to pull the trigger 17 times and line the sights up 17 times in order to lock the slide open to the rear on an empty mag when you're live firing, I would consider that fine motor skills. So that's 34 fine motor skills. To release the magazine, I have to hit this button. That would be 35. And then to insert a new magazine successfully, I would consider that another fine motor skill. So before you even release the slide, I would consider 36 fine motor skills before mechanically releasing the slide. And the same people who argue against mechanically releasing the slide will say, oh, it's perfectly acceptable to hit the bolt catch. So what's the difference between hitting the magazine release, hitting the slide lock, slide stop, slide release? Different manufacturers call this different things, doesn't really matter, and hitting the bolt catch. It's just how you train. So I will leave that up to you. Next is manually releasing the slide. So inserting the magazine, thumbs forward technique. I require the slide, push, pull, reacquire my grip, come up and engage. This is, out of the manually releasing the slide, the least amount of movement, and I actually use this method when I clear malfunctions because I can get on the gun really quickly. Some people, I mean, yes, you do grip the slide with your thumb and index and not your whole hand, but you are very clear of the ejection port. Next is manually releasing the slide, thumbs rearward. So inserting the magazine, thumb to the rear, 1, 2, 3, drinking tea with the pinky, push pull, and now reacquire my grip. This is the slowest method of releasing the slide, and you also, if you have really big hands, have a chance of covering the ejection port. But you are grabbing the slide with a lot more of your hand, so your chances of slipping off are going to be less. So, but it is also the slowest method because usually your hands get further separated apart. I have to chase my gun down to reacquire the grip, which then jars my gun more, and it's just slower. But find what works best for you. Make sure it's safe, consistent, and you're efficient with it, and just rock on. Thanks so much for joining me. See you on the next one. I'm out.